What up, y'all? Had a crazy cool Twitter Spaces last night. Our guy Nick Eatman showed up from DallasCowboys.com. His producer, man extraordinaire, Chris Beam. Tommy Yaris from the DallasCowboys.com draft show. Even had Foots the King stop by. I'm sure y'all are familiar with his content on YouTube. Puts a lot of really great stuff out there. Appreciated him. And, you know, they all stopped by and we just talked football and we talked draft. And one of the questions that came up was CJ Allen versus Sonny Styles. Who should the Cowboys take? Who would you take? And why? And so I want to do a side-by-side comparison of the two, give you my thoughts, and see what y'all think on who the Cowboys would or should take in this upcoming NFL draft.
Cowboys Nation, stand up tall. We'll never let our spirit fall.
All right, so let's start with that guy, Sonny Styles from Ohio State. All right, he is measuring in unofficially. We'll see what the combine says, but 6'4", 243, and he's an athletic freak of nature. All right, now he's kind of raw as a linebacker. All right, however, his pure freakish athleticism allows him to make up for some of the mistakes he makes, which he's going to make early on in his career. But his ceiling is so mega high that a lot of people have him ranked as the number 1 or 2, maybe behind Arvell Reese, linebacker in this draft class. All right, and so when you watch him on film, I've watched a couple games now, and first off, he doesn't miss tackles, okay? Everybody knows by now he had 0 missed tackles throughout the entire season until that last game against Miami. And kind of the hit that ended that streak was a big collision. He was where he was supposed to be, filled the gap, met the guy in the hole, but kind of got run over. There was a huge collision, and he lost the rep to the running back. And, you know, it's going to happen sometimes. It's going to happen. But, you know, to look at all the tape throughout the whole season, he had a 0% missed tackle rate. I've never heard of that before. So that's absolutely outstanding. And when you talk about the Cowboys and where they're at, you know, he's a day one starter, plug and play guy, and he improves your linebackers immediately. He's kind of in the same vein as like an Overshown. He converted from safety to linebacker. And he's just an athletic freak, fast, all over the field, sideline to sideline player, and a guy who he's going to make you, especially if he can be used as somewhat of a chess piece alongside Overshown, going to make this defense extremely dynamic, okay? Now we go look at like a CJ Allen on the other side, and he's more compact. He's more of a traditional kind of middle linebacker role, and you know, he's 6'1", again, unofficially, but 6'1", 235, so he's shorter, more stout, more compact, but he's a harder hitter. He's a badass looking to take people's heads off. And again, you can plug and play him in this defense day one. And the argument for him is that where the Cowboys are at with Dak's contract, right? Because Sonny Styles is going to have some growing pains, okay? He has a higher ceiling, and I think he's going to end up being a better player overall in his career than CJ Allen. But the argument is where Dallas is at right now. CJ Allen is an immediate starter, plug and play, and he improves your defense more immediately and fills that need of a middle linebacker, a true middle linebacker, more so than a Sonny Styles does. Now, he's not slow by any means. He's just not as freakishly fast or a freak of nature, as you could say, I guess, like Sonny Styles is. But he's not an unathletic guy, okay? He's got plenty of athleticism to still make an impact on the field. He's quick to diagnose. His football IQ is top-notch. He sheds blocks very well. And where his weakness is compared to a Sonny Styles would be in coverage. He's not really going to be a great coverage linebacker, whether that's man or zone. Not saying he can't learn to do it, but as it stands right now, that's one of his main weaknesses would be in his coverage. He's a little tighter on the hips, not a great pass rusher, but if you're looking for a true middle linebacker, plug and play starter, day one, guy who can make an immediate impact, make this defense better, CJ Allen would be a fantastic pick. And to be honest with you, I wasn't really high on the CJ Allen train. You know, he was my second preferred option. I'm not really an Arvell Reese guy at all. So my options, my preferences are Sonny Styles. I have him ranked ahead of CJ Allen, and then, you know, CJ Allen second. But after the space last night and hearing some of our guys, shout out Travis too, he mentioned it before, any of our content guys got in there, or our DallasCowboys.com guys got in there. And, you know, Travis mentioned CJ Allen as his guy that he wants in the first round. And so, you know, that got me thinking and did a little research. And, you know, it's not a bad idea. I just don't think that you got to spend pick number 12 on him. I think if the Packers lose this coming weekend, that means you're going to get picked 19 or 20, I believe it is, maybe 21 at the most. If the Packers win, your pick at best from them is 25. So let's root against them. Hope they lose. But I think you can get him, around that 19, 20. Even maybe around the 25 mark. It just depends how this thing flows. You never know come draft night. Sonny Styles, I think you're going to pick with number 12 if you want Sonny Styles. So that's something to weigh out too, is that, obviously if you get a Caleb Downs falls to you, I think you get Caleb Downs, no question to ask, because he transforms everything about your secondary. You can put him anywhere on the field, in the box. You can put him in coverage. Fantastic player, okay? But if you want Sonny Styles, I have a feeling, unless something crazy happens, that you got to pick him at 12 or he'll be gone by the time your second first-round pick rolls around. Okay, but here's the thing. If Caleb Downs does fall to you and you're also able to get CJ Allen, holy smokes, that would be a dream come true. All right, so that's one of the few scenarios that I'm excited about possibly occurring, but it all starts obviously with Downs falling. But Sonny Styles is one of my favorite players in this draft, and I think that you if you take him, you've got a guy there that you can build the defense around. Again, you're going to strengthen the middle of that defense. You got in the defensive line, obviously Quinnen Williams, Osa, Kenny Clark. We'll see what happens with Kenny Clark and if they retain him, extend him, whatever. But I think the Cowboys will probably keep 3 guys unless there's a trade that occurs. Okay, so your middle of your defensive line is very strong, and now you're enhancing your linebackers. Okay, the goal here is teams just won't be able to run the ball on you, so you make them one-dimensional, get a DC in here that's worth a damn. Okay, and now because you're in 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12, you're making these 3rd and long situations much easier on your secondary. And so by drafting a linebacker, maybe an edge in the first round, a pass rusher, I mean, all these things make your secondary better. You don't have to necessarily pick a corner, and I don't really love these corners, to be honest with you, in this draft in the first round. But it makes your corners better by enhancing your front 7. All right, so kind of a holistic approach there, and I'm looking forward to what the Cowboys do here on draft night. So if you're the Cowboys, who's your target? Who are you taking? You want Sonny Styles? You want CJ Allen? Forget the draft capital, where they're being picked, all that. Which guy do you like better? Okay, which guy would you pick? Which guy helps the Cowboys more immediately, and which guy is a better long-term prospect for this team? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. As always, appreciate you watching the video. I'll catch you later.